Hello, Daily Math Blast 19, addition within 100. Sam found 24 seashells. Steve also found some seashells. They found 67 seashells altogether. How many seashells did Steve find? Write and solve an equation to show this problem. Use a symbol for the unknown number. So I have two steps to solve this question. The first step is to write the equation that matches the story using a symbol. We're going to use the mystery box. Then I have to use any strategy that I can to find that missing number, which represents the number of seashells that Steve found. So let's write our equation first. Sam found 24 seashells. Then we know Steve found some more seashells. There were 60 seashells altogether. So that tells me that I'm adding. So I'm taking the number of shells that Sam found, adding it to Steve's seashells, which I don't know, so that's my mystery box. And I know that equals 67 seashells. So there's my equation. We all should have the same equation. Now you could have a different symbol, but I like the mystery box because that lets us put the solution inside of it once we find it. Now, here's where we can go different paths. I'm going to use the arrow method to solve this. So I'm going to start at 24, and I'm going to count up to 67 and to find out this missing number right here. So 24. Now, remember, even if you use the arrow method, your path may be different than my path. That's fine. We just need to find the distance between 24 and 67. So 24, we'll start by adding 10. So if I add 1 10, I have 2. So that's 3 10s, 4 1s, 34. Well, now I notice I'm at 34. Now I could keep adding 10s, but that's probably going to take a while. So I'm going to take a bigger jump here. If you notice, I have 3 10s and 34, and I have 6 10s in the number that I have to get to. So I'm just going to add 3 10s to this. So add 3 10s. So I have 3 10s. I add 3 10s, so that's 6 10s, and it did not change my 1s, so my 1s stay the same. Now, I need to get from 64 to 67, so I'm going to add 3. Well, now when I look, I've got plus 10, plus 30, so 1 10 and 3 10s is 4 10s, and then I've got 3 1s. Sorry, I had to put my 67 there. So 1 10, 3 10s is 40, and then my 3 1s, 43. So it took 43 to get from 24 to 67. So that tells me that Steve found 43 seashells. So Steve found 43 seashells. So remember, to get full credit for this question, you have to write the equation, and then you have to show a strategy that you use to solve this. You can't just say mentally, so you have to come up with some way to share what you're doing in your head. Even if you're doing mental math, there's some strategy. You're adding it in bits and chunks, 10s and 1s, or something that you're doing to get that answer, and we want you to share that with us. Subtraction within 100. Bob had some pennies. He gave his sister 43 pennies. Now Bob has 22 pennies. How many pennies did Bob start with? Write and solve an equation to show this problem. Use a symbol for the unknown number. Again, step 1 is writing the equation. Step 2 is using any strategy that I want to find the answer. So my first step is to write an equation that matches this story. Well, Bob had some pennies, so we don't know. So I'm going to use the mystery box. He gave his sister, so he lost them. They were taken away. So that's minus 43 pennies. As a result, he has 22 pennies left. I want to find out how many pennies did he start with. So how many pennies go in this mystery box? So again, we all should have the same equation because this is the equation that matches the story. He had some pennies, he gave some away, 43 of them, and he had 22 pennies remaining. So we all have that same thing. The strategy is where we could go different paths, okay? I'm gonna stick with this arrow method that we used before. So I'm going to start with 22. I'm going to add the 43. So I'm working my way backwards. So I'm taking the pennies that I ended up with, adding the 43 pennies that I lost back to it to find out how many I started. So it's kind of like if you got lost, if you retraced your steps, you would end up back where you started from. And that's what we're going to do here. So we're just retracing our steps to end up back where we started from. So 22, I need to add 43 is what I need to add to it. So again, this time, I'm going to add the 3 ones, so I don't have to worry about the ones anymore. Well, I have 2 ones, I add 3 ones, that's 5 ones, and I didn't change the tens, so 2 tens, 5 ones, so I'm at 25, so I added the 3 ones. So what I have remaining is that 40. Well, I could add all 40 on there, but maybe that's too big of a chunk for me to do in my head. So I'm just going to add it in 2 tens, or 20. So we'll add 2 tens. 2 tens and 2 tens is 4 tens. I didn't change the ones. And now I've added 23, but I need another 2 tens, another 20. So we'll add those. So 4 tens and 2 tens is 6 tens, and I didn't change the ones, 65. So remember, this is where your strategy could be different, but we will get to the same place. So if you use place value, algorithm, number bonds, whatever strategy you like, that's fine. You have to share it with us. We have to see that path that you took to get to the answer. So to get full credit, we need the equation and some kind of strategy that you used. So 65. Oh, I forgot my 6 tens. So 6 tens, 5 ones, 65. How many pennies did Bob start with? Bob started with 65 pennies. Okay. Now, add within 100. We have 832 plus 127, and we have 295 plus 315. Again, we could use any strategy that we want, but we have to show a strategy. And mentally or solved in my head, that is not a strategy that we can show on paper. We have to show some work, okay? So I'm going to use place value. So I have hundreds, tens, and ones. Okay? Now I'm going to build 832. So 2 ones, 3 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hundreds. Now remember, we like to do them in 10 frame style. It makes it quick and easy to count when we're looking at these place value counters. 127, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 1. Okay? And now I go from right to left, bundling and regrouping. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't have enough to bundle. So 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 959. So I must have some kind of strategy. Whatever strategy you want to use the algorithm, you can use arrow method. Please, you must put a strategy. 295 plus 315. So 295, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 200s, 315. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now look to bundle and regroup, right to left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So circle those. Bundle that over there. Now, I have 0 ones left, so that's a 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bundle those. Bring it over. I have 110 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 610. Okay? So remember, your strategy can look different, but you must have a strategy on the paper. Expressing length difference. how much longer was the longest caterpillar than the shortest caterpillar? So here is my longest caterpillar, here is my shortest one. Now I know the ruler is hard to read here when we make copies, so I'm just going to kind of extend this up. So I'm going to bring this down. I could use a piece of paper to help me. I'm just looking for the nearest whole number. If you could see it right here, this is the 9. So I know this one's 9. And if I look here, this one ends closest to the 6. Okay, and I want to know how much longer it was. So I'm looking for the distance between 9 and 6. Again, your strategy could be different. I'm going to use the ruler. So I'm going to hop. Here's 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So there's 1, 9 to 8, 8 to 7, 7 to 6. So how much longer is it? It is 3 inches longer. So the longest caterpillar okay. And one thing to help you, because sometimes students will ask me, well, I don't know how to spell caterpillar. What's in the question? So I just look right up here, right here. So a lot of times when you're looking for how to spell a word, you can just look up in the question and get it, okay? Use subtraction within 100 to solve word problems on a number line. So in this type of question, I am kind of limited in my choice of strategy. I must use this number line and use this number line to show my work, okay? But there is still a couple different ways you could use the number line. We're not all going to show it the exact same, but I have to use the number line to find the answer, just because it's in the directions here. A ribbon was 50 centimeters long. After I cut some off, 37 centimeters was left. How much did I cut off? Show how you solve the problem on the number line. So again, it's re-emphasizing I have to use the number line. So let's just draw a picture here. We're going to draw a nice, simple model. So let's draw our ribbon. So my ribbon went from the 0, and it was 50 centimeters long. Okay, so that's the whole ribbon is 50 centimeters long. Now it tells me that I cut it at 37. So here's the 35. So I'll go right here, and I cut it. And I know this was 37 centimeters. Okay, so what I'm trying to find is this missing piece. So this is that read, draw, write that you've been working on in your application problems. So I read the problem, I drew a simple model. So here's my ribbon, here's the piece I cut off, this is that little extra piece, that piece I had left, and I want to find out what that is. Now your picture may look different, but you need to use that number line. So I'm going to kind of use the number line to hop back till I get to that piece. So right here, from 50 to 45, that is 5. Now from 45 to 40, that is 5. Now, this right here is 37. From 40 to 37, right there, that is 3. So from 40, 39, 38, 37, there's 3 spaces, okay? So I hopped 5 spaces, and 3 spaces. Well, 5 and 5 make 10. And now I have to add the 3. 10 and 3 make 13. Okay? So I cut 13 centimeters off the ribbon. Okay? So again, your strategy may look different. You may have used the number line in a different way. The most important thing is we must use the number line to solve this problem. So we must be able to use the number line. But maybe your work looks slightly different. So your 37 could be here. Your cutoff piece could be here. So you're looking for that little thing right there. Okay? So your work could look different, but you must have work. This was Daily Math Blast 19. Thank you.